So 3, 2, 1, boom. Welcome to the episode 19th, I suppose. See, this is a problem.
You should have just told me before.
Yeah, see, this is a problem because we missed an episode last week, and we're coming on to that.
We have no idea. We are all out of sync, and we have no idea which number of.
Also, like, I feel like I've lost track of time for the past 2 weeks or so. Like, I was just thinking about the timeline and what all stuff I have done in the past week, because like a lot of stuff has happened in the past week, like in college, like assessments and stuff, and in life in general. Like, I feel like it has been so fast. My dad came on Tuesday. It's Monday now. He even went like today this morning, and it's just like time is like zapping past me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just going at such a fast pace that sometimes I feel like I don't even know how to comprehend all of this information that I'm getting. That's the thing. Also, I was just looking into the viewfinder. For some reason, I look like at least 30% better in these winter clothes, like with the jacket on and this like full sleeve shirt on. I don't even know how to say.
This is episode number 18.
Episode 18. It should have been 19. So I'm so sorry for missing the upload last week. But I hope this will be a fun episode. You will maybe just enjoy your time and we'll have a chill conversation. But yeah. So let's start the conversation with the fact that it's winter now. Like, I don't even know how to say it. Like 2 weeks ago, it was like fucking hot. And now, yesterday night, I was just looking at the temperature and it was like 9 point something degrees Celsius. And I looked just this morning and it was like Delhi records the lowest temperature. It was 8.4 degrees Celsius. And I was like, whoa. In just a matter of, I suppose,
I don't know what happened.
Exactly.
Like some God forget to basically change his thermostat slowly or something. And he just went chuk.
Yeah.
It was basically that we were wearing like half sleeve shirts a week ago, and now we are already 2 layers deep.
Yeah, same. Exactly. And
I
the
have
fan
no
is
idea.
not even on. Like, I like winters for that reason, I suppose. Like, at least as someone who records videos and stuff, you know, there's no fan, no worries about the background noise, and also like computing and stuff, the GPU doesn't overheat.
Again, exactly. That's like the biggest W for like me.
The GPU doesn't overheat.
Because I need to do 3D renders and stuff.
Yeah,
and my system will literally lag. Like, my renders would lag. I would like suffer from more artifacting and stuff, and basically bad renders when my CPU heats too much. Because I mostly do CPU rendering and stuff, because CPU rendering is considered
much more accurate
in 3D.
Yeah. In general, even like for shreds and stuff, you know, for producing those effects in video games, they use CPU rendering. Yeah,
and currently even after recording with using OBS and Discord running in the background, which is not a lot on Windows, my CPU is 60 degrees Celsius and my GPU is 52 degrees Celsius, which is acceptable in my eyes.
Let me check for myself. What's the temperature for me? For me, it's 50 degrees Celsius. Yes. So see, it's so much better. It's like the difference is drastic. At least 15 degrees, like straight up. So that's awesome. Firstly, and I just like winters overall. Like, that was a pretty nerdy reason for me to explain why I like winters and why, as a video person, I would say like I like winters. But even in general, like, I like winters. I hate summers, especially the way it has been for the past couple of years in New Delhi. Like, every time summers here, you cannot even live without air conditioning. You step outside and you feel like you're gonna melt in like 5 seconds. That's the kind of summers we have in Delhi now.
Again, summer used to be real fun.
Yeah,
back when I was a kid.
Yeah, back when we were kids. Yeah, summer
back
vacations.
In our old days.
Yeah, summer vacations brought like a whole other level of excitement.
Again, summer vacations are basically dead now that we are in college. Again, they do technically give summer vacations in college.
Yeah, I got summer vacations this year, but it was a weird time. Like, now I think about it, summer vacations just passed so fast. Like, we had a project that I was supposed to make. Then both of us went to driving school. Still, both of us never got our license because we are fucking slots.
Summer vacation?
We had for summer vacations. It was June.
Again, like, summer vacations are like dead in my eyes, especially due to COVID. Because now
Also,
the summer
like,
vacation schedule in my specific college is like haywire.
Same. Don't you feel like because of COVID and the whole situation that kind of like happened, don't you feel like you, especially me, I have in some sense lost a track of time? Like, I was just writing the date the other day and accidentally I wrote 2020, and I was like, whoa, this is some weird shit.
This exact stuff, the thing that you mentioned about like messing up time and stuff, this exact thing happened with me, and I wrote 2023. But the difference is you might be typing it on your like on a general entry, or like typing it on, or like writing it on like a piece of paper. I was doing it on the official exam document.
Yeah, I was also doing it
and
on
I was like
my
oh,
practical sheet.
I was like,
that's why I'm saying.
like I had to overwrite, and that's like pretty panicking, because again, like if you don't know anything about like answer sheets and stuff, you do one mistake, your paper is cancelled basically.
Yeah, because you have to fill like the OMR and stuff, because it's like digitally checked, like the main page of it. Yes, I actually had a panic attack. So not actually a panic attack. I don't have panic attacks, but it was like my anxiety just went like up by 200%. When I wrote 2020, I was like, whoa, I really have lost track of time in some sense. So that was kind of like a bit weird in some sense, I would say. But yeah, I think
again
that's
like
what life is like right now.
Yeah, like you know how I kept my my track of time basically. You remember back in schools when you had to write the date when you're taking notes on your basically on the page's index and stuff.
Yeah.
And basically you would every day you would see the date on top of the blackboard in our school. That's how I kept track of time. And when basically
that's such a genuine thing that you said, like that actually like helped us keep a track of time.
When summer vacation would roll in, I would go like, hey man, is it a Saturday or is it a Sunday or maybe it's a Tuesday? I don't know.
But now
when I went to school, that was basically sort of like, I don't know, some sort of indoctrination or brainwashing stuff, that I am basically reliant on this single corner on my blackboard that represents like how I perceive time. And that has literally fucked me up, because now that I'm in college, again, my view of like time is not that good. Like,
I get it.
Again, it's not like, oh, I don't know what day it is or like what date it is, but I have to like think, I have to give active thought to, oh wait, again, is it
for sure
18th or is it the 19th? No, it's definitely the 19th.
Also like
stuff
the
like
day
that.
of the week.
Day of the week is pretty simple, because like again,
no, it's not.
Again, I don't know about you, but I know it's 3 days till the weekend, and I don't have to go to the college, and that's basically how I keep track of the week.
It's kind of a bit weird. Like now I think about it, ever since I started going to college offline, like this year pretty much alone, for some reason weekends seem a little exciting, even though I know weekends would just pass by in like a second. Like I'm so busy with college, like I get Saturday and Saturday goes in like this realization, oh, I have 2 days to enjoy, and then Sunday shows up, and Sunday I'm like busy from day in day out over the week restarts.
Again, I have discovered something, like I don't know about other people or like you even. Again, it's all like currently it's all about me. That this is what I discovered about myself. Like a few months ago, I had a vacation. Not a holiday on Monday and Friday basically. So it was basically I go to college on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, then it's basically a 5-day holiday till the next Tuesday. And at that exact time I discovered the sense of relief that you get from a weekend is not from basically the time that you have for free. It's literally in your head. Like it's literally in your head.
Yeah.
Like the feeling of getting like a day off is better than the actual day off. Like knowing that you can do whatever you want, or like you can sleep late, you can play games at night, you can
even
do whatever
though in reality
you
wouldn't be doing
without
anything,
worrying about
how
much time again, how much time do I have to sleep?
Yeah.
Again, for me, the sense of, oh, I have a vacation tomorrow is way better
Than
than
actual vacation.
the actual vacation.
I get it. Because in reality, things never go as planned, and we are just like running a bunch of shenanigans, and then at the end of the day, we're like, oh, did I even have a vacation? Like, that's the realization that I get on Sunday night. I'm like, the week is over, dude. Like, I didn't do shit. Like, there's a lot of stuff that is supposed to be done. Especially with like running 3 YouTube channels
Fridays
now.
are technically the best. Again, Saturdays are technically the best because oh, I can do whatever I want, and have the next day where I can just lie around, and another day I have basically Sunday, so I don't need to worry about anything.
Yeah.
And in that regard, Sunday is kind of not as good as Fridays or Saturdays, because you have to like go through your job or college or school when Monday starts.
Yeah. Also, like, my majors are starting from
And again,
the 30th.
Exactly. Like, that makes you think like we are literally a slave to our mind, basically.
Yeah.
Like, this is what it made me realize. Like, I literally am a slave to my mind.
For sure, 100%.
I cannot do anything about this dreadful feeling of Monday. And it's all in my head, because I know when I got a free on a Monday, I was like, why don't I feel this overwhelming self of dread that I have to go, like, I have to prepare stuff for tomorrow, and I need to wake up at this exact time. I have to set my alarms. I have to pack my bags, make sure that I have done every homework, assignment, etc., etc. And I'm all ready.
Yeah.
And again, it's sort of that stress that builds upon itself, and it makes you dread like Mondays or like weekends, weekdays in general.
For sure, 100%. And I personally feel like, those are the moments in life which actually make you sad. Because I was like not actually rewatching, I found like Joe Rogan's clip from Elon Musk's podcast, and Elon Musk was talking about like happiness, purpose of life, blah blah blah, which is not something that he often talks about. And Elon Musk in that particular podcast said something like, your happiness is equal to, if you were sort of like put it in the form of an equation, he said something like, happiness is equal to reality minus expectations. If the reality settles in to be more than your expectations, you're much more happier. But if your expectations settle in to be much more like bigger than the reality that it is, you're actually sad. So in that sense, you're 100% correct. Also, I was saying like my majors are starting from 30th, and life is going a bit weird for me right now. Like, I have been missing uploads and stuff. I'll just be making the upload for tomorrow. Just after this podcast, I'll be sitting with you and making an upload for my other channel. There's a video that I'm supposed to make Wednesday. So like there's stuff like that's happening, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to put it. Like, life is going so fast. Sometimes I feel like I just want to like take my foot off the gas, take the back seat, and just chill and relax a little bit and never worry about work. But at the same time, this idea of like, hey, I'm losing time, my youth is very important, kind of like makes everything a guiltiful pleasure. Like, think about it for a second. What was the last time when we actually sat and we were playing video games or like watching an anime? I cannot remember it.
Nope. Maybe
especially me, like
3 months ago.
Not even 3 months.
Maybe.
I would say at least 6 months. Easy. Like, when were the days when we used to play Fortnite? It's been easy. Like, I haven't played Fortnite this entire semester.
That has easily been a year.
Right?
Because I remember playing last time I played with you when
we had like the third semester exam that was horrifying.
Yeah, exactly. The second season's winter update rolled around.
Yeah,
where they had like sort of Christmas gifts and
where we
stuff.
kind of like smoked the entire lobby. We had like 40 kills or something. Yeah. It was like such a fun moment to think about it now.
And again, like, it's sort of like a dilemma. Like, again, this is the sort of stuff where I don't recommend anyone to like follow my advice or anything like that, because your life is different. You have different circumstances, and I don't have any sort of responsibility. Like, if somebody personally comes to me and asks, hey man, can you help me with this, and I say yes, at that specific moment I have basically said yes and taken responsibility. But in this case, again, this is just about like how I do stuff. Again, like, how should I put this? It's not about like how you think you're wasting time, because the thing that you said about like how Elon Musk describes happiness, it's reality minus expectations, where reality is a constant. Like again your reality can change, but in comparison to your expectations, it's always gonna be like a constant. Because a reality is very difficult to change. And especially if you're comparing it to expectations, which could have been, hey man, I want to be the ruler of the universe.
Oh, then you're fucked.
Again, in that comparison, reality is actually like a constant.
Yeah. Because in that case, you can never like bridge that gap.
Again, reality is, again, it's not impossible to change, but it tends to be slow. Like any changes in reality they happen slowly. For some people it can happen rapidly, but it mostly tends to be slow. The thing that you have more control over overall is expectations. And it's basically like, I'm not saying like expect disappointment and you will never be disappointed. No, it's not about that. It's
MJ
about
stuff.
tempering your it's about tempering your expectations about stuff.
Yeah. I feel like that the advice that MJ said in Spider-Man No Way Home was like pretty legitimate. Like now I think about it from a philosophical standpoint, and I'm like, that actually made a lot of sense. The fact that you expect disappointments and you never be disappointed. Like just do not expect results. Just like, do whatever you wish to, and do not expect any return out of that.
Again, that's sort of paradoxical, considering that.
Yeah, in some sense it does seem like nihilistic, to be honest.
If you don't have expectation can lead to drive for change in reality. In that sense, expectation is directly proportional. Speaking in like mathematical terms, expectation is directly proportional to your reality. And if you don't expect anything, you are basically happy in your current state. So you will never have a drive or like a passion to
do
change
anything.
Reality itself. Yeah.
This is something that even like author Charles Bukowski, I think he went by that name, discussed about. He talked about the fact that how people with low IQ, I don't want to say the word dumb because it sounds weird. He said that how people with lower IQ are much more happier than people with higher IQ because they tend to have a much more like a higher sense of
like it's
conscientiousness,
like
let's say.
Yeah, ignorance is bliss and stuff.
Ignorance is bliss, exactly. Like you don't know stuff, you're fine. The moment you know stuff, it's all fucked up. Like also, do you know the actual story of Gautam Buddha? Like the actual story.
What do you mean by the actual story?
Like in depth, in detail, the process that he kind of like went through in search of truth. His core philosophy, basically, what I'm saying.
Again, like I know he was like a prince in like somewhere in the northern India and stuff. Northern west maybe? No, northern east India and stuff. Like somewhere around Uttar Pradesh, Nepal, and
Nepal
Uttarakhand,
region,
that specific area.
That belt,
and like he was basically sort of like a, what do you call it? Not a shut-in. What do we call that? Like a pampered child, let's just say. Like technically not pampered, a sheltered, like a sheltered child. And he had never experienced reality.
Life,
and like he has never gone outside. He has never looked into how people do their day-to-day lives. He has technically, again, I won't say he has technically not seen misery. And after he like turned into an adult, like he was 18, I don't know, maybe back in those days what was technically considered an adult. And basically when he was in power, or he had more power, or he became an adult, he asked his family to basically, hey, I want to go outside and I want to see the world. And he went through he was on a carriage or stuff, on like a cart or something, and there was a guide that was like cruising him through his own kingdom basically. And there he saw a lot of stuff like people getting married and somebody's funeral processions going around, stuff like that. And he was constantly asking, hey, what's that, hey, why are they carrying that person, and why isn't he breathing, or like, because he doesn't know anything about, he is literally a sheltered child, and he knows nothing about how life works or how death works. And
So,
again, after that, maybe he was sort of like, I don't know, like exactly. Again, maybe you can fill in the blanks.
basically the thing that I was trying to like put forward, you explained the story pretty accurately, even though I would have kind of like switched gears
Again,
and shifted to much more detailed
I
part.
remember
But
this story. Yeah, I remember this story from like a very old cartoon movie.
yeah, I get
Very
it.
old cartoon movie.
Yeah, and that's fairly accurate, I would say. But the thing that I was trying to say is that that part, he was about 20-25 when he went outside and he looked at the outer world and he figured out that people are starving, people are dying, there's just a plethora of problems, there's a plague that's going around in the city. He figured out that basically he explored misery or suffering, like in Taoist or Buddhist philosophy they call it as suffering, and this idea that he figured out suffering and he went out in the search of truth is something that's so weird to think about, like in nowadays. Like back in the day when somebody said like they went out in the search of truth, they basically said that they'll like renounce everything, they'll become a monk. But translating that entire thing now in this like hyper capitalistic society where everything is like so much status based than it ever used to be, is just so weird visualizing that. And that's what I wanted to tell you. Like when I was talking about like Charles Bukowski thing, like higher IQ people tend to be less happier in general speaking. Like it's not necessarily that every higher IQ person is like depressed or something like that, but it's that lower IQ people are much more happier. It's just that fact that they haven't explored much stuff. When you explore much stuff, you figure out like, oh, the world is a fucked up place.
Yeah, like exactly. When you have again, I won't say like a higher understanding, but when you look into stuff more, you sort of, again, your curiosity it piques your curiosity. You want to explore more stuff. You want to see what's at the end.
Yeah.
And more often than not, it's just gonna lead to not necessarily suffering, but disappointment, I would say.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'm in a happy little place known as Earth. What's outside Earth? Again, people didn't know the exact answer of this question for ages. It was not until like telescopes and stuff were discovered that we figured out, oh, again, the planets that we see or the stars that we see are actually like giant burning balls of gas and stuff, and what's in between is just dark empty void.
Yeah. Until basically like Newtonian physics came into action.
Yeah, exactly. It's, again, if you think about the concept like in a traditional sense, to like a person who has never thought about like what space is, you expect, again, think of like an unexplored world.
Yeah.
When I see a pyramid, or not a pyramid, like a mountain, I expect there to be something beyond that mountain, which is something that I've never seen, like beyond my wildest dreams. You expect there to be, this is what drives exploration. The search of something new. This is what drives exploration. And this is how humans conquered the entirety of the earth. But as we came into like, let's just say, we gained more knowledge about space, we developed ways to study it, we developed ways to see it, we even developed ways to travel there. Again, like, not, again, we technically traveled to space, but we haven't like gone far, except like our till the moon, let's just say, like physically till the moon.
Yeah.
And when we imagine, oh, there could be like distant, this is basically how science fiction was born, like space sci-fi stuff, that oh, maybe there is something interesting. But in reality, if you, again, maybe there is some distant star where like a sort of like a space federation where all different races of aliens are like inside like a federation or like a republic, sort of like Star Wars and stuff. Maybe there is something like that. Maybe it's just an empty void, where lifeless empty void where nothing's happening, which is most likely than not that's the case. And it sort of leads to that disappointment if I know beyond that mountain is just an empty desert, or like just a sea, or like an ocean, that a plain ocean that goes miles beyond, and I only see the horizon, nothing else. You will be disappointed. and that sort of disappointment leads into what you said, suffering or like misery.
Yeah. It's kind of weird thinking about these things at some point. Like these are kind of like deep thoughts that I have when I'm trying to sleep at like 1 a.m. 2
Yeah,
a.m.
exactly.
in the morning.
Again it's sort of called like sad boy hours,
Oh.
because you technically don't have, again I don't know like the scientific technical definition of what it's called. Again, the people just refer to it like sad boy hours, where you basically you think about something too deeply and then you start feeling sad,
Yeah.
or you feel like
It's
feel
like
existential.
Yeah, it's like the why of whys. Like you ask something, you're like, why this happened? Then you're like, why this happened? And like, why this? And you kind of like reach this end. I think it's called as Agrippa's trilemma. I might as well have to confirm the term, so I'm not putting it out there. But it's like when you ask yourself these questions, like after like n number of iterations, you end in this weird spot where it's like a self-looping structure, where you ask the answer of A, it ends to be B. You ask the answer of B, it ends to be A. Something like that. Or it's like infinite loop, like nothing. It comes back to where it started. Or number 3 is where it all comes back to like a God complex, or basically the Big Bang.
The universe, yeah.
Exactly, the universe. Either you kind of like justify that God did this, like, you know, a structure like God, for example, or just the Big Bang. And so it's just weird thinking about it. It's just weird. Anything else you want to talk about today? Because I myself don't want to keep the podcast too long, but I think we have been like through about as much as like 25, 30 minutes.
It's only been like a half an hour, man. It's only been like a half an hour.
But I find it like difficult a little today, like to have this like flow of conversation going. Maybe because I don't have a topic to talk about, like because my week,
I'm an empty slate.
Yeah, but I'll tell you like how my week went by in this meanwhile for the past 2 weeks. Like for me, I have been going through like assessments and stuff, and it was just such a weird time for me.
Only assessments.
There's like a lot of stuff, but you know, the thing is that last Thursday, I suppose. Was it last Thursday? See, again, I've lost track of time.
Again, it was either the Thursday or the Friday where everything started. Again, for anybody wondering why we are like doing a back and forth, personal
we have lost track of time.
We have lost track of time. We don't know what's happening. He has been constantly busy. I have been constantly sick. So everything is jumbled. Yeah, so like I was just going out with a friend of mine, like, you know, stuff. Last Thursday it was, I suppose, like we ate out. Friday was a holiday because it was convocation at our university. Then for some weird reason they called us out on Saturday because Friday was a holiday and they had to kind of like have the minimum number of classes covered. Then I went out on Saturday. I was fucking alone. I felt like a piece of shit coming back because I apparently went there for like no reason, just for my attendance. And then Sunday was again a holiday. Monday was my that Thursday I had my DBMS whole assessment thing, like Viva, file checking, assignments, everything that was supposed to be done. Then on Monday I had same for the algorithm subject. Viva was supposed to be done, lab checking was supposed to be done, and assignments also supposed to be done. So I was doing like all three of them, preparing for my Viva, preparing my lab file, and preparing also like all my assignments. There were 2 assignments that were supposed to be done apparently. I was doing that. Then on Tuesday was supposed to be done. I think on Tuesday it was like a quiz or something of like that sort. Oh, I think my Discord ID just got disconnected. Just wait a second. I'll do it. I don't think you can do it. I can do it.
Yeah, just drag it, because I think it won't be able to record in between. In case I want it for a failsafe, just do it and we'll like keep talking.
Done deal. Again, this is another thing that I want to interject. Like this feeling of like dread or like how should I put this? Like, how would you explain like the bad feelings or the bad emotions that your college gave you? Like, how would you explain it?
I don't know how would I explain it, to be honest. I was just thinking before starting this podcast, I was thinking that I would like talk to a friend of mine, a common friend of us, like, you know who I'm talking about, And I was just like thinking about it, like, you know, on Friday evening, I was just sitting all by myself and I was thinking about the past events that happened in my life. And I was like, I just want to go back sometimes to my old school, not our school that we studied in, like old school. And I just want to like say hi to everyone once again. It was like, even though if I had like bad moments in life, there were some people there who were really nice with me. And I just want to like relive that moment once again. You know what I'm saying? And I've also like tracing a little back, I was reading Stoic philosophy 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago actually. Again, I've lost track of time, so I don't know how many weeks ago it was. But there was like a poet back in the day who went by the name of Heraclitus, Heraclitus. So Heraclitus had this saying where he said something like, no man ever steps in the same river twice. For the man it's not the same water, and for the river it's not the same man. And that made me think that there is certain experiences in life that you can only experience once. So I don't give a shit now like how college makes me feel. I'm just like, hey, this is an experience of life. I don't care how stupid that makes me feel. It's just the fact that this particular moment will never come back. So I just want to embrace it. That's my answer.
Again, like you took it too philosophical. What I wanted to just say is, like, this feeling, this bad emotion of dread or whatever.
Oh, it makes you feel like shit.
It makes you feel like shit, but it fucking amplifies. It's like dialed to fucking 11.
Yeah,
when you're like traveling through the metro.
Yeah.
And like you have to literally sit in the metro for an hour and a half, which is like basically what I do.
Same.
Like I
the loneliness kills me sometimes.
The longer,
because for you, I'll tell you why the loneliness kills me.
I would say like the meaninglessness of it.
The
like I went to
is,
college, nothing
actually fruitful happened.
Nothing actually happened.
Yeah.
I didn't learn anything. Again, this day was waste, but I have to come.
Yeah, I'll tell you something.
But I have to come because again, like, let me just finish it. Like,
sure. Go ahead.
The thing is, I wake up at like fucking. Again, I have like MWF. I have like evening classes, TTS, TT not S. I have like morning classes. So we are recording this on a Monday, and it's technically 11, and I literally need to go and sleep by 12, because if I don't get like 8 hours of sleep, I just will not be able to wake up. So basically, and again, I didn't go to college today because I knew nothing's gonna happen. I called up my friend who went there, who went to college, and I asked him, hey man, what happened? He said nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
The teacher the teachers or the professors came into the class, bullshitted for like an hour, went away.
Bullshitted for like an hour.
Absolutely, this is what happens. One of our teachers teaches us like Unreal and stuff. He went, again, he hasn't teaching us anything about Unreal. He just comes into our class. Hey, he would just open up the same PPT and go, hey man, do you know Metaverse is gonna pop off? Web3 is gonna pop off. Just wait till 5G
even like some faculty that we had in the past would talk about like AI, ML.
Like he's basically
artificial intelligence is the future, but it's like
he's basically a hype man. He's a hype man. He just hypes us for like softwares and technologies and stuff. That's all he does. So basically I go to college, nothing happens, but I have to go to college. Why? Because of the fucking attendance system.
Yeah, also you can kind of like change your mentality about it. Like, I don't know how to put it. Sometimes you have to realize, like, for example, I'll tell you, like this Friday I took a holiday because my Viva and stuff was completed, so I would get a proxy. Not actually a proxy, it was just that I don't have to go because, you know, I'd completed the assessments basically. So I was sitting by myself at my place. I woke up at about, I would say 8 a.m. But then after 9:30 I just took like an hour of sleep because I felt a little tired and I was like, oh, this week was hectic, so let me just take another hour of sleep. And I was just thinking to myself, like, I have to change my mentality about certain things because all these years, even when I was in school, I was going through a bunch of shit in life. I was like, hey, I just have to do this. What if I just told myself the same day and I told myself like, hey, I don't have to do this. I get to do this. I get to go to college. You know what happens when I don't go to college? I feel like going to college. I'm like, hey, I'm missing out stuff.
Sorry, dude. That's like only you.
I know that makes me sound stupid in some sense because
feel like
all these years
when I don't go to college.
Yeah, I understand what I'm saying, and I understand exactly what you're thinking about me, because all these years we were like ranting college, and you were like, oh, I don't want to go to college because it was like online, and online it was so much fun, and I would agree on that. We had so much time.
Yep.
I was doing so much stuff. You were doing so much
I
stuff.
wouldn't necessarily I wouldn't say hands down offline college is more fun than online college.
But the traveling part.
But exactly, like online college is more convenient, way more convenient.
I remember waking up at 9 a.m. and the classes would start at 9:15, and I would just enter.
I think it all boils back to the travel. For me specifically, I am not used to long travels for school and stuff. My school is
same,
literally
dude. We were at the same school, bro. What are you talking about?
Again, for you it's at least like 100 150 meters. For me, it's literally like not even 20 meters, I would say.
Yeah.
It's ridiculously close.
Yeah.
And like the school starts at 8 a.m. I am waking up at 7:40.
I understand.
Again, I'm not used to travel.
But also, like, that's an experience of life. That's all I want to say. Like,
again, getting shot in the leg is also an experience in life. You should go and experience it.
Getting shot.
Getting shot in the leg, again, not in the face, because that's not an experience. That's ending all experiences. Yeah, but getting shot in the leg is also an experience. You should definitely experience it. The adrenaline will keep you pumped.
Absolutely not. Like, there's some experiences in life that are not worth it. Like, I would never do psychedelics, never do drugs. Some experiences in life are not worth it. Never do anything that puts me in like an orange jumpsuit and I have to shave my head. I would not do stuff like that. Yeah. But yeah, I think so. Anything else you want to talk about?
Not at all.
Not at all. So you want me to wrap it up? It would be our shortest podcast if we wrap it up right here. It would be like 35-36 minutes. Less than 40 minutes.
Yeah, there's a first experience for everything there.
First
Let the people experience the shortest podcast of the UnCut Theory Podcast.
Now you're ending it in the form of a joke.
Yeah.
Our excuses have
I'm very good at meta commentary and shit. Like making satire of meta stuff.
Yeah.
The actual one and like the concept one.
I get it. Also, you're like fucking lazy. Like, think about it. Like, I've been thinking about like, hey, I'm gonna make
this video. My laziness. This is what I've come to terms with. I used to feel guilty. Oh, I'm fucking lazy. I don't want to work. I don't want to go to college. I don't want to go to tuition. But what I discovered is, by not doing stuff, I found ways of doing stuff which are more efficient. Yeah, exactly. Not even like loopholes. Like finding ways to do stuff which is easier on me. Yeah. Absolute complete workarounds. Again, a very good example of this is, we have a project where we need to animate a character. What people will do, they'll make their own characters, very shitty ones. They'll rig it. And again, not even that. Let's just say they'll go to they will just type it online, free characters online, and they'll go to literally the first website. They'll download that character, they'll rig it, they'll waste so much time, and they'll do shitty animations. What I'll do, I'll just go. There's this website. It's like rigged characters or riggedmodels.com, something like that, or rigs models, something like that. It's basically a website where they provide you models that are basically data mined from games and stuff. So you can be assured these characters are fucking like 5 stars basically. Yeah. Like these are top of the line. They are not like a shitty model that somebody has uploaded in their free time on like free 3D or CG Trader or something like that. Because all the good models are paid. All the shitty ones or the bad ones are basically what's free. And on this website, they data mine models from games. So basically, they copy the models from the games, and then they post this character on their own website. I just choose that character, take an environment, only focus on the animation because the character is all pre-rigged because it was used in the game, and I'm done. And my work looks and my work looks 10 times, no, even like 100 times better than most of my peers. And I'm not even kidding. Like, I'm actually not even kidding.
He has shown me.
I submitted one of my like projects way earlier than I should have, because again, I don't have to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
My research and basically how should I put this, like how I browse the internet, or like my surfing skills on the internet have helped me to find this character where I don't need to do the difficult stuff, and I can only focus on the animation stuff.
I get it. 100%.
I posted it online. My professor went, and he was super impressed. He actually used that specific animation that I made as a reference for the other students.
For sure,
which again I would not have preferred, because it kind of makes like a bad blood between other students. Hey man, because of you now we have to do like an extra hard stuff, because your project looks so impressive. Now we have to make our projects more impressive.
Yeah.
But it's whatever. It's
like whatever. I get it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, that's 100%. My narcissist rant for today. Again, this is the only stuff that I'm good at, and I'm gonna be not even humble about it, because this is the only stuff that I'm good at, and this is my only saving grace. I actually showed one of our friends that I actually showed him like our whatever the graduation, the thing that it gave us at the graduation and stuff in our school when you graduated from school. It was basically like a sort of what was it? What was it?
Citation ceremony.
Yeah, the citation ceremony where they gave us something like which had like our photo, our name, a message from the principal,
sort of like a
and
badge
something
of honor,
which was personalized. So not a badge of honor. It was a photo frame with like
a bunch of
remarks from
stuff
the teachers
written
and the
about
principal.
you. Exactly.
Yeah. Every student had like generic shit. Most of them had generic shit. Studious, hardworking.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
For me specifically, again, the students that have sort of like a quirk, they were given a sort of like a personalized by the teacher or the principal. And mine said he has an innate ability for something like that, like a very good in animation and graphics. That was basically it. And this has, so you can even say it has been my personality for like the last 10 years or something like that. I am the tech guy that's good at VFX, video editing, Photoshop, etc. So I'm going to be a narcissist, because this is the only thing. This is my only saving grace as a human being. So that's
this
it.
This is basically a part of his personality.
Yeah, thank you so much for being a part of my rant. Yeah. Should we end it?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I think it was episode 18, as you said.
You're making me second doubt myself. Wait a second.
Either ways, we'll catch you guys next week with another fun episode. Hopefully the next episode will be like sort of more sorted, because since we didn't film a video for the past 2 weeks, I feel like I'm a little dizzy in some. So it's not exactly I'm not feeling sick, but I've lost track of time. I don't know how to speak. That's weird.
We need to get in sync, basically.
Yeah, we need to get in sync. It's been hard because I used to film for like 3 channels, my Hindi channel, main channel, and this channel. I haven't filmed for any of those in the past 2 weeks because I was like busy with college stuff and like so much that was going on in my life. And now I'm back. I want to do a bunch of stuff. My majors are coming in like less than 8 days now. It's Monday. It's like next Wednesday. So I have to study for that. There's a lot of stuff. There's a plethora of stuff that I have to do. So we'll catch you guys next week. Another fun episode. Same time, 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time, Friday. So thank you everybody for watching. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye-bye.
And definitely like and subscribe.
Yeah, definitely like and subscribe.
It's basically, again, it's not like I'm going to say it every day.
Yeah, it's
like
not
week.
like... Yeah, and it's
so just
another...
do it.
And it's a better experience. If you have watched till the end,
definitely do it. Yeah.
and it's of course a better experience.
It's going to be a very good experience. Yeah,
a very good experience. So, bye-bye. Peace. Good night. We'll catch you guys next week. Bye.